Good to be back. Good to be back, Andy.
Pressing that button there.
Yes.
Hello.
All right. Oh, we got Arta here too. Already in here in the chat. Hello, everybody. It's nice to be back. It's been a little while, hasn't it?
When was it last time? October 3rd.
October 3rd.
Yeah.
All right.
And we went out into the world. After 2.5 years shut down in Taiwan, we have been in Taiwan again.
Yeah, good.
It was good. Lots of food.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing all the people we left behind last time in February 2020.
Yeah, that was the last time we were there, so
Yeah.
quite a long time ago.
Crazy.
And same area for the event. Andy and Sue and the others in Taiwan, they did an event, so we'll be sharing some images on those here coming up in a little bit. But yeah.
And you're sitting here beside me and not in Austria.
Exactly.
Which was also in between very often the case.
Yeah.
The world's getting back to normal, I would say.
Yes, definitely.
Okay,
All
yeah,
right.
we have some good stuff to talk about.
Yes, we have a new watch.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard.
Do we want to talk a lot about it? I think we need to first quickly show something. Like.
Oh, I don't know if it's going to get a focus point there.
Yeah, it's coming. You will see more details, but
yeah, you'll see some more details.
It's a real. What I want to say, it's a real watch. It's not a CGI. It's not a digital whatever thing. It's something real, and has been in the making. And we have been listening to the people, and I think a lot of people were reading your texts and stories. And by the way, an excellent recap of the Tourbillon 1.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, really nice. People ask you to write a book.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's a new job, You're getting every day you get a new job, and it's super fascinating to see this, to see what we have been going through, and effectively this journey was also the result of this watch which we are talking now, which is called Lensman. And there's a lot to talk about, and it's called Lensman 1, which means very likely there's a 2 down the road.
Probably not a Tourbillon.
Probably not a Tourbillon.
Yeah.
Nobody knows, but we don't want to say too much about this up front. So today is the 9th of November.
You want to share that screen?
I will switch. Here. I need to get back a little bit into training our technical stuff here. Yeah?
Okay.
So where are we now?
And I'm manning the chat here.
Yeah.
We have Paul. We have.
I am here, we are in the bottom
Arthur,
this time.
Oscar. Yeah.
Good. So, Lensman 1. We want to talk about product right out of the gate. Why did we do that? The motivation behind it, the technical spec of the watch, which I think is interesting for everybody, of course. And of course, we talk a little bit about movement and what are the next steps. How do you get hold of a product like this? Yes, like always, some things will expire. Also, this one, and it is a watch which is meant to have a limit in its lifetime. And I think it's important that people, when they decide to go for such a watch, that they understand when they can buy it and what are the rules here. Let's jump into more presentation material, or shall we quickly have a first look?
Let's have a little bit of a first look here.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's so we need to get back here to that.
Oh, Mike's here. He says he's here, but he has no more money left to spend. And hi, Sean. Hi, Arthur and Oscar and Zagana.
And thanks, by the way, to where are they? Jonas
they've left the building.
They left the building frustrated because we said we need that watch now.
Yeah.
Because the other 2 watches which we have, they stayed in Taiwan and in Hong Kong.
Yep.
With Ming Watch Channel, super nice guy. Got to know him in person now. He's helping us to find customers who are interested in what we do. And as you see, the watches are ticking already. Surprise, surprise! It's another complete cold start because
it's shaking.
I'm shaking too much. Sorry. We are out of practice. I need to get myself here into that thing. Why? So
there we are.
There we are. It's everybody who has been following us knows that we have been making this Tourbillon watch And a lot of people during this Tourbillon 1 project asked for a version with a dial.
Yeah, because actually when we first started Tourbillon 1, everybody, well not everybody, many people had said, wow, semi-skeletonized thing. You can't do that. And, and so we really listened, and this time everybody gets a regular
now
dial.
it's a chance to, and it is a dark watch. Yeah, we wanted to. It's not, it's not vintage, whatever nano tube exercise. I mean, we want to make sure that people can buy that also.
Yeah.
So we watch our cost, and we do always what we are committed to do. Actually, we talked about this today. What was it? Watchmaking buck? No, watchmaking bang for the buck.
Yeah, best bang for the buck.
Yeah, best bang for the buck, and we try to stick with this. So we managed to develop this whole Tourbillon project further into this Lensman. And why is it called Lensman? I think that's the first thing we need to talk about. If people haven't read it, but probably it makes sense to talk about it again. Yeah. And so let me jump back. I think everybody has seen that now a little bit. We will come to wrist shots and have a closer look and so on and so on. Let me get back here. So, and here. And now the next slide here. Good. Lensman backstory. I think it's your turn to talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, well, the backstory on this started quite a while ago. I mean, I'm a photographer. I've been shooting photos for a long time. This is 2004. I made a little bit of a web clip where I share a very short backstory and the inspiration behind the Lensman watch. But here at Raj, we're photographers. We're also, I guess you could say, along with Marcus, we're really into the details and all the technical aspects of photography. Myself, I'm not so much on that side, but others in our company are also very much into photography, and we also have a lot of individuals that we rely on to produce images for us.
Yeah.
And if you look online at Instagram, there's just so much photo sharing. People are so happy to share images of their watches. That it just seemed natural that we integrate this story of photography and watchmaking together, because they are both expressing craftsmanship as well as the utilization of a tool that captures memories but also can embody memories. And this is a very fun project to work on. So,
and to be honest, I had no damn clue about the whole camera thing. So just very simple. I was, as some sort of a software background tech guy, I thought, okay, the whole camera thing will be anyhow dead, because the phones will take over everything and software will do everything. And then I had to obviously learn during this period of COVID that it is quite important to have a light, strong lens. You were the first one who really told me that. And I learned about the differences, and then somehow, we were talking more and more about it, and it was becoming obviously more and more clear that with this digitization of the way we present and talk about our products, cameras will be always around, and we are getting nerdy on the camera tech, and we see it today now. This whole disconnected world during COVID actually went into hardcore YouTubing, and everybody's geeking around on lenses and lights and cameras, and somehow people now expect a much better experience of the presentation, and therefore you need good cameras. And the whole thing, and what does it have to do with watches? When we look about this Tourbillon, it's so fascinating, because it was somehow invented in 1795, obviously it is something which the watch industry wants to see and what the consumers want to see, and that's what we made. And same like photography, that's something which had its disruption caused by technology, but it came back and it's here to stay, and it has its roots somewhere where you can say 35mm film was invented, and from there we saw other camera makers like the portable cameras, which gave a very new direction to the way the world sees it remote, I would say. Not much different from what we want to do now. And since this is such significant tool for us, the camera itself, we thought, yeah, it might be interesting to explore more this area with a watch as from a watchmaker's point of view as we are. We do not plan to make cameras, for sure not. That's not our business. But we want to understand and want to make sure that the world understands or knows something about that thing, and that's interesting. So that's why Lensman, the people who are behind the lens. And you are, I see. I just before I had this. This YouTube clip here. I mean, that's you,
and that's my backyard.
That's your backyard. You're living down there. I think.
Actually, on the other side.
On the other side. Okay, so it's really no bullshit. You really get up in the morning and shoot.
Yes, this is
It's not that you just do that for marketing reasons or things like this.
And when during COVID, when you couldn't go anywhere, the only thing you could do is go outside, and this is where I'd go most mornings, and I'd go up and shoot the sunrise. So this is a place that's very well known to me.
So this can be seen here in YouTube, in our channel.
Yeah, I think you're sharing that part of it there. Oh, you're sharing the studio.
No, it's okay. I'm showing it's the studio backside. But that's okay, I think. Okay, yeah, that's where we come from and where this project came from. And of course, we probably... people who have an idea about photography, they know that there was some relatively important invention, 35mm film by Kodak. Actually.
Oh, the film.
Yeah, the film itself. The film came first, 1889. Yeah. And then you can say there was a relatively important invention of this small portable camera for everybody.
From Oscar Barnack.
From Oscar Barnack, which is at this time was at Lights Leica, in other words. So this is important stuff. And at the same time we have Breguet, which thought about gravity and defying it and came up with this tourbillon. And we think these two things are enough to put them together and make a product, and that's why we called it Lensman with a tourbillon. Yeah. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I'll just go back. I don't want to talk too much about that clip with me in it. Yeah. But
shall I show you again?
Yeah, we can watch it a little bit, and I can explain it a little bit here. We don't have to.
I just let it run.
But yeah, this is, as I mentioned, sunrise. I spent a lot of time in Innsbruck as well, as I was starting to live in Europe. So it was just down the road for me, and I would photograph there quite often. And the guy who's actually filming this, him and I worked very closely together over 10 years ago, and it was in action sports and skateboarding. And he's moved on to be a very well-known documentary filmmaker. And it just was a lot of fun to work with him again and just put together this little clip, because it sort of it's not just a story about a watch, but it also
and by the way, because you have been in action sports, we know each other.
That's right.
Because another friend of us, which is in Munich, which is running an agency, product innovation and advertising company.
He introduced me to you.
Yeah, and he said, you need to go to Biel. There's a guy who knows something about software, and we both share some kind of snowboarding and action sports background. So that's how we know each other. Reinhard Pascha, by the way.
Yeah, Reinhard. Yeah.
Reinhard, thank you.
It's his agency.
Pascha and Heinz. So if you need some help in your sports company development, you can go there.
Yeah. So that's the backstory on the video, and I plan to do a forum post and explain that in a little bit more depth. But since we're here today and we're talking about the watch and the inspiration, I just want to make sure everybody gets the full spectrum.
Yeah, and there will be more. There will be more story coming around and along this whole thing, and we will explore that much more because it's just an interesting thing to think about. How important photography was, and will be in future. Yes. Be it still or moving like we do it now in YouTube. And we talked about it a lot. We want to get the best in that. somehow. That means also more lenses.
So the studio that we're in right now is very, very archaic.
Yeah.
And from a photographer standpoint, I'm actually quite embarrassed by it. But we actually have another space. We're expanding some more.
So we will get better studios and cooler pictures.
Working on it. Okay. But the most important thing is getting watches.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Design inspiration.
Yes.
Next point.
So I think this will help if we go into some of the details of the watch and show different aspects of it. But again, looking at the camera lens, the camera case, and the materials that are shared across watches, and also the use of color, why we went with black as well, to give you some insight into there, because I've noticed somebody here has already said, a gray dial, it's a black dial, and because cameras typically are black, monochrome, yeah.
Studios are black most of the time
black,
because
yes.
you don't want to have reflection. Lenses are inside blackened in order to make sure that this. So that makes some sort of sense to us. Yeah. And when you look closely, that watch case actually is a three-piece design. Of course, the rear, and then the front and this bezel is not for turning. It really just should mimic the feeling of a lens.
Yeah, of a lens,
to
focus
operate
ring.
A focus ring, and that's what we did. And there's a super nice back cut into that case. Very hard to make, by the way. Yes, and we also put a couple of numbers there because usually lenses have numbers for
the shutter speed. But this was aperture ring, and this one, when I was out shooting on that particular day, in and around Innsbruck on the mountain, I was shooting with an Octolux lens, which is unbelievable, and by far my favorite lens. So that is why that's included.
It's not exactly a cheap lens, I heard.
No.
Okay.
It's tourbillon price.
Yeah, tourbillon price.
lens.
Don't drop it.
Yeah.
And also the crown and everything has a very much camera-like-ish feel, I would say. We did not paint ourselves into the corner of one camera brand in specifically, I would say. That's not the point. Perhaps down the road we say, okay, we want to work with Sony and with Leica or with some other, who knows, Nobody knows. But currently we just choose something which
resonates with us. And look at different cameras and get the inspiration from there. So we have the black details on the watch, and I've explained that a little bit in our forum and online. But the inspiration for those other more of the black details, like the black onyx crown. So that's actually an onyx stone that's inset on the crown. The inspiration for that is I'd like to put black tape on the logos on my cameras. And I know a lot of other photographers that like to do that as well. And there's a reason for that. The main reason when you're shooting photography very up close is that these logos, whether it says Nikon or Leica or whatever else, they're usually bright and you get a reflection back into a product, especially in product photography. So there's a reason to black it out, and then also it's to be a little bit more inconspicuous when you're on the street. When you do black it out,
Leica guy.
Yeah, if you have this big red Leica logo on there, it can attract eyes sometimes that you don't want to have on those products.
I didn't know that at all. It was completely for me as a, what, you're doing that?
Oh, I've had numerous people try to steal my
Funny thing
equipment.
is your marketing department think a lot about this whole, where do we put our logo that everybody sees it? No.
Yeah.
That's not the point. So that was super interesting for me, and also the dial ring has this kind of structure which also comes close to actually what do you operate on a lens. Then we have a sapphire crystal in the front, which also has a lens.
Exactly.
Because we want to see our beautiful turbos a little bit better. And that was a horrible thing, I mean, to get through that thing, it was like, no, it's not possible. And
we went through actually quite a few different revisions. We tried all different types of Cyclops variations, but the idea was, at the end of the day, it's a lens inspired thing, but we see how often people are zooming in and they're just looking at that tourbillon cage, and we thought, hey, how can we make that even better or easier?
Shall I get a little bit into...
Let's get into the watches.
Showing that, and you talk. I move a little bit out here.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
From that thing.
I'll move over a bit more.
we can do it like this perhaps. So yeah, I move that aside, and I did not try before. You know, I don't know how good my lighting setting, whatever reflection kind of thing is right now.
But we have the grade 5 titanium case.
Yeah.
So
you see, it's not much color in there, so very easily we might get some reflection from somewhere, even if you have anti-reflective coating. That doesn't say pretty. That doesn't say a lot right now.
Mm-hmm.
You take away some lights here. So you see, very nice.
And this was just built, so any of the dust and anything you see there is on the crystal.
It just came from Silvan and Jonas' hands.
Yeah. And you probably have to zoom out. So Andy's showing the case profile here.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more difficult with the lighting there. It might take a moment. You might actually, yeah. Okay, let's skip that one. Maybe it's better, easier on the crown side.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wanting you have to go out there. Sorry about that. Focus, autofocus a bit more out.
Right. Yeah.
It's that reflection that's throwing off the autofocus there.
Not so easy here. I told you I need better cameras.
I think it's a lighting issue. I think it's that lighting on the side there. Sorry, guys and gals. We'll.
Yeah, that's why we're live. Yeah, it's not. It's unscripted here.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just that light the way it is there. It's
this one.
Yeah, that's that thing.
Taken away. Let's see. Oh,
there we go.
Here we go. Yeah, now
yeah, so there you can see the aperture ring engraved there on the side, and and the onyx stone.
It's from the underside. It's a very classical case. Also, luck, shape. We didn't want to reinvent the world here. You know, it should be very comfortable to wear. It should be not overdone when it comes to the theme itself. It is like every one of our products. It should be a real daily wear.
Yeah.
Lensman 1 is a different galaxy compared to Lensman 1, 2. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
It's a total different thing.
Yeah.
And we are happy with it.
Let me just get that to focus again.
Yeah.
And it's interesting when you look at this the sapphire crystal on the dial. If you're not directly over top of it, you see other sections to the side just more magnified. And so as you move it around, it magnifies into the back of the tourbillon cage. So the case is all made of grade 5 titanium.
Yes, titanium.
Polish is extremely nice. It's super lightweight. The case is 10.3 millimeters, so very low profile. So it's a lower profile than what we actually had for Tourbillon 1. But the lug-to-lug width is similar to Tourbillon 1. So 47.3, and it goes slightly to 49 just at the tips there. So it's within the same lug-to-lug there as Tourbillon 1, and it's just super comfortable on the wrist. Here on the back side, so we have one's head, one's heart, and one's eye on the same axis.
Who said that?
It was Henri Cartier-Bresson. Yeah. And this was I guess you could say, a paraphrase from one of his very long quotes that he had. But this really stood out to me when I was looking at some inspiration, and I loved the use of a phrase on the case back.
Yeah.
It just we've done that with the Atark, the one you had come up with.
Second indicator. The second indicator, we choose actually a blue screw.
Yes. Yeah.
Just because there is a dial and we needed to have some certain space, and this blue screw is actually replaced by that indicator because it's a little bit too much. Yep. This white thing would have stick too much out on a relatively dark watch, and that's what we did. I'll probably zoom in here.
Just move it over a bit. So, no, the other way. Turn it the other way. There we go. You see that screw there. So it's
the dark screw.
Yeah.
One of them is dark, so this is actually how we indicate the second, and that proved to be a pretty nice way of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So where were we before that? We were talking about the case back. The wording on the case back.
Case back on the wording.
Yeah. And and so we have the case back wording. As far as it's concerned, it's a one edition. So we're going to produce a maximum of 500 pieces of this. Okay. If we don't have orders up to 500, it'll be whatever number of orders we get before the end of February, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be less, but it'll be a maximum of 500 pieces. And then you'll also notice the bridge work is a little bit different than what we had on Tourbillon 1. We went with this rounded look on the bridge work on the backside, which really ties in with the Tourbillon cage. Also embodying that story of Lensman, the roundness of a lens.
And it was necessary to be consistent with the front cutout in the dial, because in the other one we had the squares, so that it was more consistent. But here, a red
screw, not blue.
not easy. Blue is something we can make with heat, and red.
Yeah.
But noted.
Noted. It's a good suggestion, Arthur. Yeah.
The more I see, the more I want it. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Me too, by the way. Perhaps this time I also get one.
Yeah.
I didn't get one last time.
And the other thing we should mention is the Orage logo on the back. The nanostructured.
Same thing.
Femto
laser. Do we see that?
You see it a little bit, so you have to turn it. You turn it a bit more. Yeah, you can see it change color there.
No.
Yeah, and it'll change through a rainbow array of color depending on the way the light reflects onto it there.
Yeah, I love it.
I love the movement on the back.
The whole back this time, this black thing with the silver, perfect.
And you get the best of both worlds. You get a nice dial on the front, and you get the skeletonized look.
And that nice dial can do something else.
What's that? Oh yeah.
Wait.
Somebody was asking about luminous earlier.
Yeah.
It is black luminous that we're utilizing in here.
Just to switch back and forth, that we know what we are talking about, I need a little bit of a lift here.
A lift?
This.
There we go.
Let me try. Yeah. I think that's better. So these indexes, they are very dark.
Mm-hmm.
So they are filled with dark black luminous, because we wanted to have it black, obviously. And then when the light hits it, they can actually shine silver, because it is so shiny, polished, that it can come out silver, but effectively it's black.
Mm-hmm.
And then this filling in at night will look like that.
Yes, and it's two different. You see, there's two different shades of green, and that's because one is white luminous, and the other is black luminous. Black luminous, you can only get so bright. It's the X1.
Yeah.
It's the absolute highest.
There is some limit.
Yeah, Swiss super luminous, so there's some limit, and so it's naturally going to be a little bit more subdued than the white luminous on there.
Yeah, I like that. It's really good. That was a good decision of the girls.
Yeah, they did good.
Yeah,
they did very well.
Let me show again both sides. So here and here, lots of buttons to press.
And apologize for the dust.
We are not in the dust-free zone right now.
Yeah,
it's definitely. I do it like that, perhaps. A new thing. And you see now the camera. That's why I need better cameras.
Just actually, that case back, you got fingerprints on it there.
Yeah, there's too much light. It's too bright on the left side, although it's really dark. So I probably can make that darker now, like that.
Can you hand me that case, that watch there? The one you have your hand on?
Is that dirt?
Yes, Sandy. And hand me that cleaner there.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. All right, we'll get that all squeaky clean here. Can't be doing that. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So we see it
There we go.
halfway through. Yeah, it's a little bit. So now you see it as it would be real. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have too much light somewhere. There. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Even you see the orange color.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's green. Damn good watch. I'm really surprised.
Yeah,
you know?
and when you wear it, it is
Yeah,
like
shall
feather
we
light.
wear it actually?
So it is actually 44 grams without the strap. With
Yeah.
the strap, it's 64 grams. So that's a pretty nice lightweight watch. And yeah, the profile being 10.3 millimeter, and the lug is just super comfortable on the wrist. And as Andy
happily ticking along.
Yes. And so somebody had mentioned earlier, you know, Swiss made, not handmade. We had handmade on our dials before because in essence, watches are made by hand. But many people didn't understand the story behind that. And we are here in Switzerland.
I'm sorry to you, Landon, still that I did that to you. I did really not expect that so many people want to discuss with us about that.
Yeah.
And you are the guy who were in front of the shit fan.
Yeah. And so instead of doing Swiss made on the dial, it was Andy's idea to say, hey, we are in Biel.
Yeah,
and
that's what you write.
And that's what we write. And so that's the reason why. But I mean, if you come here, there's you see very much.
Frank, I also love this handmade story, and still it's clear to me. There's a lot of handmade. Everything is kind of handmade, but it was really a little bit too hard to keep communication at scale.
Yep.
It's just too much work to make the people who do not really read into it. Red and no school is technically not possible. Sorry. So it was technically too hard to keep up this communication about this handmade stuff. And then, I mean, at the end of the day, just go down the road 1 kilometer from here. There's a big black building growing out of the ground from our friends with the crown. Yeah. And on the other side, there's this other thing with this Omega logo, and they are both pretty serious companies. And why not talking about the place where most of the watches and movements in this performance level come from? And that's Biel. So everybody can come here, and that's why you write it on this dial. And I think it's part of our true story that we tell where we come from. Why not? Swiss made, we can be. I mean, a lot of people cross the border, put together a watch on behalf of a Swiss company, but they're all not from Switzerland. No. So what is it?
It's called hire an agency. Here's my graphic design exercise.
Yeah, and even the big guys, I mean, when 80% of the production is run by French or by Italians, then the question is it still made by Swiss? So we can do this discussion forever.
Yes.
But now for us, we found our direction, and that's BLBN. That's where we are. We are proud of that place, and we hope that a lot of people can visit us here, because everybody can walk into our place and look into our drawers and see where we do our things. And I think that should be the right thing to do.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking, everybody in the chat here has been talking about this red
screw.
Yeah. I know that, there's, red is used in photography.
That would be a tuning exercise.
Yeah.
Like in bike business, you get red titanium screws.
Yeah.
The problem with the red color on the tie is that it's not very sticky. It's very easily scratched and stuff like this. A blued steel screw is relatively, I would say, durable enough. Yeah. But if this is a tuning thing, who knows? I mean, that's why we're there. Do we have some? We wanted to put on a watch. Huh?
Yeah,
or straps.
we can put it on. So actually, just show those straps there, Andy.
Yeah.
So we talked a lot about the watch, and we have the 2 straps, and so these are hand stitched.
Hand stitched, yeah.
Yeah, and handmade strap that's made up the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically when you pre-order, if you're doing like the full payment option, you'll get both of these straps.
And it looks very much again like what you have on cameras.
Yeah, on the camera body grip.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that was the reasoning for that. And there's been a few people reach out to us about a bracelet. There isn't a bracelet option for this watch. Bracelets take an incredibly long time to develop. Yeah. And to get just right, we are not purchasing an OEM, like an off-the-shelf bracelet to go with one of these watches. If we do a bracelet, like we did with Super Seed, that buckle and the bracelet itself took a year and a half, nearly 2 years to complete. Yeah. So it's a serious investment, but the strap for this watch and the story and just the aesthetic, everything really, really works well with it.
Everybody knows our buckle. That's also part of the product. Still stickers on there because we should keep it clean, they said.
Yeah. I'm saying keep it clean because
you're going to
I'm going to England.
Yeah.
And I'll be up there tomorrow. Yeah.
In the morning. I heard you need to get up very early.
I have to get up very early, and so I'll be up there and doing a Red Bar event in Bristol as well. And anybody stopping by is going to be able to see the Lensman 1 in person.
Good.
Yeah.
We are nearly 52 already, yeah?
So Johnson asks, is it light in weight? Can wear it when running a marathon? Yes, you can. We actually had Benson, who is a triathlete. He's taken our watches. Well, he's taken Super Seed on a triathlon, and he took a first Tourbillon in the triathlon. Yeah. And it fared extremely well.
And we had a very nice event in Taiwan where he cooked. He was a chef.
Yes.
And so super nice event, very good food. And I think he will take it on the next triathlon, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And if it rains cats and dogs again, like in the last one, and it survives it, and I'm pretty sure it will, because we are only going to get better with every watch, then you can also challenge Nadal. Because he is wearing also a light watch.
Oh yeah?
From a company which is a little bit more expensive.
Oh yeah, just a little bit more.
Slightly.
Yeah.
So I just put on that watch.
Yeah, so I'll be walking the show at Watch Pro on Friday, a little bit on Saturday before I go to Bristol on Saturday evening is the event there. And then I
my
will
new
also
watch
have
here.
The Super Seed. Somebody was asking about Super Seed, so I'll have Super Seed and Lensman with me as well, and you'll be able to look at those. Not all the colors, just a couple.
Wrist shot.
Let's see what this thing looks like on the wrist.
I'm getting out of that camera.
So slide on over there, Andy. Just lift up your wrist a bit there, and we got a wrist shot.
I have lights somewhere. Where's the light?
There you go.
Oh.
And the other thing, I don't know if that one's completely screwed down. We've actually changed the case to have a screw down crown.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the Tourbillon 1 we didn't have that, but with this one
see,
we have the
super nice profile to wear. It's again one of these watches which you really can wear.
Yeah.
You know.
Arthur, I'm not. I see you said something about 10 gram less, 350k more. I'm not quite following you. Yeah. Please explain in the comments.
This was a Nadal one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. That's a pretty good per gram rate.
Yeah.
So it's super nice. It really, it wears so well. I just can't bend my arm further around.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's it.
I need better cameras. Yeah.
Huh.
You see that Cyclops here?
Yeah. Let's go to my notes here, see if there's anything else we missed on this. Yeah, so the sapphire crystal obviously is AR coated, and also on the case backside, the crystal is also coated as well. We've had some requests to make sure that that was included in there, and we said, okay, yeah, why not? We AR coded. It also photographs better as well when we do put that on there, so it will be AR coded on both sides. Yeah, the tourbillon movement itself, 120 hour power reserve. If you're not familiar with the first round that we did with tourbillon 1, we are getting over 120 hours of power reserve. This will ship with a silicone hairspring, so it's going to be, as soon as we put in those hairsprings, it's basically at chronometer standards or better. Yeah, so it's within chronometer low accuracy, so that's -4 + 6 seconds a day. And yeah, we already mentioned the blue screw.
We don't go for COSC this time.
We don't go for COSC.
Why? Because we do not want to have so much delays, and I think we have proven that we can make watches in COSC level.
Yeah, and you can test it when you get it. Everybody does test it.
And everybody can test it, and everybody's guessing. We can hand out also test reports if we need it. So it's not a problem anymore. It's not that we have to prove ourselves that we can do that. The movement has passed that, but we have also recognized that the current COSC standard is not really made for a hand-wound movement which has a very long runtime.
Yeah, because it's only running over a 24-hour period.
Yeah, it's only the first 24-hour period, and this, from experience, what we saw is that not everybody's winding his watch every day. You know, people let it run down to 2-3 days, and that means the run rate will change naturally. So when we regulate the watch for someone who is wearing it, then we probably get problems passing COSC in the first 20 hours, 24 hours. And that doesn't make a lot of sense. So we should regulate the watch to the middle of the 120 hours, and then you have the most average correct accuracy. And these are learnings which we had from the first touring with COSC, and effectively some people came back and said, yeah, can you adjust the precision a little bit to my winding habit? And we found out that most of the people actually wind it every second or third day.
I do. Sometimes it's a fourth day, and I love that because it's just a quick wind of the watch and it's ready to go. The power reserve is just so long, and it remains also extremely accurate.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt there. So what do we want to do now, Andy? We're just looking at the watch.
I'm just looking at the watch.
All right. Oh, I should get back here. We got some comments going on here.
Yeah.
In the chat. Oh. All right. Well, we got some spammers in here. Let's.
Dating for all.
Yeah. Let's hide user from here, and we'll do this too. Sorry about that. Looks like we got some spammers in here. Yeah. Yes. And we got rid of those. So, yeah. Just point of reference, the array is 76 grams with the strap. Yes, so steel watch with the strap, 64 here with the Lensman titanium. Let us know if you have any questions in the chat here. If you want to see something again, we'll go back to it. I see Andy has put his fingers all over the sapphire crystal once again.
Okay, good. Sorry.
No problem.
I told you I want to have everything live, uncut, unpolished, because photoshopping everybody can do.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, not everybody, but everybody can pretend that everything is perfect.
Yes.
And the reality is it's life, and life is not perfect.
Oh man, the dust gets everywhere.
Yeah, it's our enemy.
Yeah. When you're wearing it, you don't see it, you know.
I think that's a pretty good
But
position,
as soon as you start photographing stuff and getting things up very, very close, it's, you know, just dust in the air, this particles land on the watch. So
okay.
So yeah, let's jump to the next section about the pre-order.
Yep.
And just go through those details because it's going to be coming
up
here soon.
By the way, the girls are waiting with the food.
Yeah. So for this one, we are not going to show the pre-series Super Seed. We didn't have a plan for today.
Yeah.
So we do have the watch on the wrist. I guess we could do a quick thing here, but
I can show it here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
And yeah, so another question, is there a possibility for some custom details on this one? On the Lensman, we're not offering any custom options with it. The watch is as it is. Yeah, it's just, we're sticking to that aesthetic, and we've had a lot of really great feedback on it, and that's the reason why we're sticking with. No details are custom. And also, it seems that there's a misunderstanding sometimes about customizations and the costs that are involved in that. It can get very, very costly just doing very small changes, especially when you talk about, changing a dial color or doing a different luminous or changing hands. This stuff all involves reworking the watch and doing different things. So
yeah, and supply chain and planning and so on.
Yeah.
So once we do $1 billion revenue, it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Okay, I mean, I think we just need to stick to what?
You want to put us in there?
Yeah. Sorry.
No problem. So Andy's been showing Superseed here.
Once we, I mean, you need a certain. Well, let's say we can do what we do and offer what we offer, namely high performance, advanced watchmaking at a sort of acceptable price, because we somehow managed to also explain to the people that some things are probably not in our reach from size point of view as a company. We have to limit, we have to say no to a lot of things here in order to get to that level.
Yeah, there are certain minimums that need to be done. So if you do one custom piece, you are then having to step into production for that one piece and fill the minimum order quantity from the supplier or whoever you're working with to reach that custom quantity. Which gets very expensive.
That's why everybody is welcome to come here.
Yes.
To see what it means when you add a new SKU, which is a stock keeping unit, another item of something creates not just another item, it creates a huge amount of additional information need to be handled, and a new position in accounting and at the suppliers, and another risk of failing in quality.
Yeah.
That's also something which we should be aware of. Okay.
All right. So
that's the watch. Now back to that thing.
So Gordy is asking the question that we're getting to right now, which is, when is the pre-order going to open?
Pre-order.
So
I need to change that here. So
go back over here. So
here.
The pre-order starts on November 22nd. That's a Tuesday, at or around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Swiss Central European time. I say at or around because it's me and Leon. We have to sort of coordinate the web page and all the buttons to go all live at the same time. So it'll be within some minutes of one another's, and it'll run for 5 days. The pre-order is priced at $83.90, and
I just wanted to get here, so that people can see that there is a complete website dedicated to that product.
Yes.
By the way, I love that website.
Yeah.
Really top.
Yeah, Dan and Leon did a very good job.
You moved from bright to dark. And usually I don't like dark websites, but that one is really good. So everything's written there, and everything will be continued to be written there in the forum. So if you follow and share, I have nothing against sharing, by the way. Share it with others. It would be cool if we reach our targeted. What is our targeted volume?
Well, I would like us to reach around 200 pieces.
Yeah.
This would be really great. And if we do some more, it's also good. It means that more people are becoming more aware of Orage. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, whether it's 200 or 500 watches, it is pretty much nothing.
Compared
to our neighbors down the road that are producing, upwards of 1 million watches in a year. And so it'll be a very special timepiece, and we see it already with Tourbillon 1. It ended up being 260 pieces, and so hopefully we get close to this, and you as a customer have something very unique on your wrist that will, obviously, it has an expiry date. We will be stopping the actual order of Lensman in February of the next year. So up until now, people can order, but the 5-day price is 83.90 Swiss francs.
And it includes tax this time.
And includes tax.
So effectively, we are better priced this time than last time.
Yes.
So we learned something from the first time, how to handle the whole tax exercise, except when we have a luxury or a specific duty issue, then we need to talk to the people and say, look, if this is exceeding a certain amount of percentage, we need to charge that. But basically, people who live in developed in a country like or world in Europe and in America and in major parts of Asia, then there is no big issue with excessive duties, you know.
Yeah, the only ones that are off the top of my head that we ship to every once in a while would be Indonesia.
Yeah, there's some serious stuff we need to have a look at.
And China as well has a luxury tax.
Yeah.
But everywhere else is covered in that. And we also, you know, for our return customers, you'll receive a loyalty code that you can use at checkout. And with the full price pre-order, so if you pay the full amount, you'll receive both straps, the red stitch and the red stitch strap, as well as a limited edition photo book. And we'll also have a split payment option as well. So anybody that is wanting to split up their payments, we do that already with Superseed. You can order the watch for half the price, and you can also pay the remaining amount 3 months later. We'll send you an automated invoice for that, and you can settle the amount there. And one more important thing that
Philip, by the way, correct. I mean duties.
Yeah, duties.
Duties are an issue. We look at it case by case.
Yeah, so it's the duties. But one thing that we just recently added, and it's in the forum post that I put out this week, is that you will be able to, if you wish, request a case back number. Yeah, and for the full price of the watch, it's 100 Swiss francs. There is a lot of management on our side, especially with Celine, and it just is an extremely time-consuming process to match case back numbers with customers' orders along with movements and everything else. So there is a lot of work that goes into that. It's not simply like, oh yeah, there's one goes there, two goes there. There's a lot of logistical things that need to align, and that's why we do have, I think, an acceptable price for offering that.
Yep.
So it's 100 for those that pay the full price. For the split payment option, it's 150. And you'd simply send us 5 numbers within your wish list, and we'll try to fulfill that. And if we can, we'll give you the lowest possible number next in the pecking order.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So no more questions in here.
No.
Okay. Yep, the text. Yeah. France, yes.
I think it's good if stuff's built in and you don't need to worry about it too much. I mean, sadly, we are in let's say the world is deglobalized currently to a certain degree, which I do not like very much. But obviously we have to live with this for a while, and we need to work around all this kind of borders which come back into our life.
Yes, it doesn't make it very easy when it comes to this to create consistency. So we just want to make sure that you don't have to take care of that in the future. We'll just include it in the price, and it's much easier for you.
No, there will be no titanium bracelet for that watch available.
No, there is just the 2 straps.
Yeah. Shall we have another look?
We'll take one more look here at the watches, and then I think we probably have to go get something to eat for dinner tonight.
Yes, correct.
I think that there's some fish today.
There's such a big fish. It's a huge fish. It's so big.
It's bigger than that.
Bigger. It doesn't fit in our stove. We need to. The open fireplace needs to do that thing. There they are. The 2. I think we have done a good job. Somehow. It's going to be a very good product. Yeah.
And I forgot to mention delivery. We're delivering spring of 2023, so around April.
Yeah. That's the plan.
That is the plan.
I mean, we have already a lot of parts for that product. It's not that we start from scratch because the really hard parts are already there. We have really worked hard on stabilizing our supply chain, diversifying everything, getting double and triple backup on machining, getting our own machines. So I think we will become much better in doing this type of business down the road and become even more reliable on what we promise, and that's the job. I mean, always something can go wrong. You know, still there's in a regular movement, as we counted, 3,500 process steps involved, and if you do one wrong, the watch doesn't work. So you need to do it again, and then out of a sudden you lose a couple of months. So that's our constant job. That's why we need to limit ourselves to a very easy to control, as easy to control product lineup, where we have full control over everything going on. And this naturally means that we have to exclude some things which we probably didn't want to do, or cannot say just, yeah, let's try that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we need to get the Super Seat over there next to the Lensman.
There's a question. Like, wait, Super Seat? Yeah, we can do that.
Can you not match the strap to the contours of the watch? I guess like they...
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
That is a big discussion amongst designers. And I stay out of that. It's a philosophy question. Do you want to have that, or do you not want to have it? Do you want to have it bent or not? Designer said in that case, it looks better when it is straight. It's a little bit more, classic.
Yeah, it's a classic look.
Yeah.
Can you just zoom out the lens a little bit, because the Super Seat is sitting a little bit higher than there. Yeah, then it's a bit more in focus there.
Nice watches. I mean, give me a break, yeah. Who has that stuff? It is the best performing micro rotor movement in this industry.
Yes.
That is no question.
We had the chat today.
We can stand every test and comparison to every of the brands in this industry, and it is perhaps one of the best tourbillons in that industry.
Yeah.
I think it's not so bad.
And we have the best engineering team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're lucky.
The only thing, the most important thing is that nobody gets arrogant.
No.
You know.
No, we're just stating facts here.
Yeah. It's facts.
Yeah. And having some fun, you know. Yeah.
I don't like that light. It's a little bit milky, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
It's darker. We need to work on our lighting. Definitely.
Yes, MC, the tourbillon does turn 360 degrees in 1 minute. Yes.
Defying gravity. So, but since there will be silicone, and I will open a bottle on champagne on 26th of November, or beer or wine or anything, because that's the date I was waiting for.
And your birthday is during the pre-order too.
My birthday is during the pre-order, and
it was last year
there's
too.
a pre-order.
How come you always at your birthday?
It's a birthday present.
Yeah.
and the patent of silicone springs expire on 26.
Yes.
And I waited for this to happen for now 12 years. So I have been a little bit patient.
Yes, and you've been through the trenches.
And it will mark a new milestone in this industry. We will see massive innovation coming. I'm 100% sure.
Yes. So MC's asking, any mechanism to stop overwinding? Yes, it has. So Lensman 1 is fitted with an automatic barrel. So basically there's a clutch in there that slips the,
you cannot
the spring,
overwind
and you
it.
cannot overwind it. And that's the reason why we went with a screw down crown, is that you're able to screw in a fully wound watch and not have to worry about this overwinding with Lensman 1.
Yeah. No.
So.
No. Yeah, damn good watches.
So Christoph is saying, I like the hands. Does the loom on them, is the loom on them the same width on both the hour and minute hands?
The hour is a little bit wider.
A little bit wider, yeah. So Jeremy, for the pre-order, it you can, if you want to do a split payment, you pay 50% of it at the time of placing your pre-order, and then 50% of it later on. So there's that option, or there's just the straight full payment option. There's just those two.
What's the diameter of the watch? I think we
40,
didn't say that.
41.
Did we say that?
No, we didn't. It's not. Yeah, and the lug width is 22, 41 millimeters, 10.3 millimeters thick.
Big opening. You see a lot of time, a lot of movement, a lot of style in that watch, and there's not much to complain, to be honest.
Yeah. Could the K2 beat at 8 hertz?
No.
Yeah.
We would have to make a new movement.
It's a completely
new movement. I can ask Jonas and say, no, forget it.
But yeah,
no, we will have to make something completely new.
Yeah.
And the question is, does that make sense? 8 hertz sounds like a lot, but when you get problems with lubrication and so on, because everything is moving so fast, the question needs to be asked, does it make sense? Because at the end of the day, I think we stand for really high engineering exercises, performance in a watch, durability, and technically advanced also.
Yeah.
You know, and we should stick with that. And if a high beat movement might be a technically challenging exercise, but we know that there's a durability issue, so we would not recommend do that.
Yeah, more things moving more frequently.
Yeah, especially not when you have a traditional layout, a Swiss lever escapement layout, this kind of thing.
Yeah.
That would be probably too much of a risk.
Yes.
Coming along with the maintenance of the watch, and people should wear watches and not send them in for maintenance. Yeah. Some companies make money with that, by the way.
Some are very good at that.
Okay, we are exactly 1 hour over that, and I think we should say goodbye.
Yes. So, thanks once again.
Thanks. And we do what was it? How do we stop? Sit still.
Hey, we didn't even do one GIF yet today. Did we do a GIF?
We didn't. No, we didn't do any. Wait, we do a GIF. We do a GIF. Wait, let me move myself here to the side.
What did we have here? We had Kermit with his camera.
We were talking about camera. We were talking about camera.
We didn't even get to any other fun stuff. Yeah.
There.
There we are. All right.
That's why we make that watch. Yeah. That's why we make this watch.
Yeah. Kermit inspired.
Yeah, and what happens afterwards when we have started to do our pre-order? Spending money. We pay the bills. We pay the suppliers. So at the end of the day, we are doing a lot of cooking.
Yes.
I wish you all a nice evening, and we are going up grilling our monster fish, and probably we post a picture on Instagram on that.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.